This is Paul Goodwin, and welcome to The Laws of Time. Each team electronically plays a 7-game series against their opponent. We choose one game from each of the 12 rounds, and we play it manually. That is the game you will hear today. The winner of this game also won the series and will move on in the tournament. 1871 to present day, all teams are invited. Over 3,000 teams, over 20,000 games played. Today we have the visiting Chicago White Sox from 1991, and time travel for them, it's just 1 hour down the road, Pittsburgh in 1991. The White Sox ranked all-time 492. The batters are in the top 21%, pitchers in the top 28%, and the team as a whole in the top 19%. Pirates number 67 all time. Batters in the top 24%, pitchers in the top 26%, and the team as a whole in the top 3%. How'd they get here? Well, the Chicago White Sox from 91, they beat top 17% Montreal of 1978 in round 4, 5 games to 1, outscoring them 34-13. Then they turned around and beat top 9% in round 5. World Series champion Kansas City Royals. They beat them, Kansas City Royals of 1985. They beat them 3 games to 1 and outscored them 50-32. Pittsburgh, in round 4, they beat top 50% Detroit from 1948, 4 games to 2, but they were outscored 30-20. In that series, one of the starts by Drabek, they lost 7-0, and one of John Smiley's starts, they lost 10-1. In Pittsburgh's 4 victories, they won by a total of 6 runs. In round 5, they beat top 37% St. Louis Browns from 1886. They beat them 5 games to 2 and outscored them 26-15. 49 degrees here today in Three Rivers Stadium. We'll call it Three Shivers Stadium. Down the lines, 335 to center field, 400, symmetrical ballpark. The umpires at third base, Frank Pulley. Second base, Bob Engel. First base, Tom Hallion. And Country Joe West behind the dish. Three Rivers opened in 1970 at the confluence of the Allegheny, Ohio, and Monongahela rivers. Also home of the Immaculate Reception. Remember that. Playing on the fake stuff today, artificial turf. You might hear us refer to something called H5. It's a stat we have, which is just home runs per 590 at-bats. We also give normalized numbers, which is what the player would have done in an average year league at stadium. We might also refer to something called ATP, which is all-time points. The number of runs a team would score if it were made up entirely of that player. The lineups for the visiting White Sox. They're wearing their gray with the cursive Chicago in black across the chest, or Chicago, as my daughter likes to call it. Leading off in left field, Tim Raines, second. Center fielder Lance Johnson, third. First base, Dan Pasqua. Fourth, third base, Robin Ventura. Fifth, the catcher, Carlton Fisk. Sixth, the shortstop, Ozzie Guillen. Seventh, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Eighth, second baseman, Scott Fletcher. And ninth, right-handed pitching, Jack McDowell. For the hometown Pirates, they're wearing the white uniforms with the black Buccaneer-style Pirates across the chest. Gold trim. Leading off, center fielder, Andy Van Slyke. Batting second, shortstop Jay Bell. Third, left fielder Barry Bonds. Fourth, right fielder Bobby Bonilla. Fifth, first baseman Orlando Merced. Sixth, third baseman Steve Bruchel. Seventh, the catcher Mike LaValliere. Eighth, second baseman Jose Lean. And ninth, right-handed pitching Doug Drabek. Drabek takes the hill for the Pirates. He was 15-14 on the year. Strikeouts and base on balls per 9 innings, 5/2. ERA of 3.07, normalized 3.39. Batting against 274 and H5 of 11. Normalized 279 and 15. He's 28 years old. First batter for the White Sox will be switch hitting, batting from the left side, Tim Rock Raines, 31 years old, 268 and 5, 282 and 6. Let's play some baseball. Quebec delivers. Raines hits one deep to center field. Van Slyke is going back. He's at the track and he makes the catch for the first out. That will bring up left-handed batting Lance Johnson, the center fielder. Johnson is 27 years old, 274 and 0, 286 and 0. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball deep to right field, but playable. Bobby Bonilla, near the track, makes the catch, and 2 men are down. Brings up the first baseman, left-handed batting Dan Pasqua, 259 and 25, 270 and 28. He's 29. Here's the pitch to Dan. There's a ground ball to second base. Lean near the grass has it over to Merced, and the side is retired. Nothing doing for the Sox in the first, and we go to the bottom of the first. White Sox 0, and the Pirates coming up. Right-hander Jack McDowell takes the hill for Chicago. He's 25 years old and went 17 and 10 on the year. Strikeouts and base on balls 7 over 3. An ERA of 3.41, normalized 3.60. And batting against 228 and 12, 230 and 12. He'll face left-handed batting Andy Van Slyke, 30 years old, 265 and 20, 283 and 27. Here's the pitch to Van Slyke, low and outside, ball 4, and the Pirates' first batter is on. Brings up right-handed batting Jay Bell, 25 years old, 270 and 16, 288 and 22. Van Slyke, a slight threat to steal. Good runner. Here's the pitch to Bell. There's a fly ball to right field. Sosa on the run near the track. He makes the catch. 1 away. That brings up left-handed batting Barry Bonds, 26 years old, 292 and 29, 311 and 36. Here's the pitch to Bonds. Van Slyke goes. Base hit to center field. Van Slyke rounding second. He's going to make it to third. And the Pirates have runners on first and third with 1 out. Bringing up switch hitting Bobby Bonilla, batting from the left side. 28 years old, 302 and 18, 321 and 25. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 men are down for Orlando Merced, also a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Merced is 24 years old, 275 and 14, 294 and 20. First and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, no score. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left center field. It's going to be trouble. No one's going to get a hold of this one. All the way to the wall. Van Slyke will score. Bonds rounding third. He'll score easily. And Orlando Merced has just fired the first shot over the bow for the Buccaneers with a stand-up double. Pirates lead now 2-0. And that brings up Steve Buechele. Buechele, third baseman, right-handed batter. 29 years old, 246 and 21, 263 and 28. Bonds on second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Buechele. Fly ball to center field right at Lance Johnson. He goes back a little bit and makes the catch for the third out. But the Pirates come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. They strand 1, and we go to the second. Pittsburgh leads 2-0. Chicago will send up the 4, 5, and 6 spots, Ventura, Fisk, and Guillen. Here's the third baseman, 23-year-old Robin Ventura, left-handed batter, 284 and 22, 296 and 25. Here's the pitch. High chopper to short. Jay Bell's got it over to first, one away. Brings up Carlton Fisk, right-handed batting catcher. 2 decades, 43 years old, 241 and 23, 257 and 27. Pitch to Fisk. Base hit to left field. A crisp line drive. And Fisk is on with a single. 1 out. And the batter will be Ozzie Guillen. Guillen, the shortstop, left-handed batter, 27 years old. 273 and 3, 285 and 4. Drabek delivers. There's a high fly ball, deep left field. It's playable. Bond is under it. He makes the catch. And 2 men are down. That will bring up Sammy Sosa. Sosa, right-handed batter, 22 years old, 203 and 19, 215 and 23. Fisk on first, 2 down. Sosa batting. Here's the pitch to Sosa. There's a ground ball to shortstop on the grass over to first in time. Jay Bell with a fine play, and the side is retired. After 1.5, Pittsburgh 2, the White Sox 0. The 7, 8, and 9 spots up for Pittsburgh: LaValliere, Lind, and Drabek. LaValliere, left-handed batter, 289 and 5, 308 and 7. He's 30 years old. McDowell looks in. And the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Johnson's going back. He's going back. It's over his head. Hits the track. Bounces off the wall. And Mike LaValliere will pull into second base with a leadoff double for Pittsburgh. Looked like Johnson was trying to deke LaValliere on that one by sticking his mitt up as if he was going to catch it, even though he had no chance. But the catcher would not fall for the ruse. Jose Lind steps in, second baseman, right-handed batter, 27 years old, 265 and 4, 283 and 5. Here's the pitch. Base hit to left field in front of Raines. Raines fires into third, but LaValliere is able to get in. LaValliere had to wait a second to see if Raines was going to catch the ball, and then hustled into third base to beat the throw. Now the Pirates have runners on first and third. Nobody down for the pitcher, Doug Drabek. Pretty good hitting pitcher. He bats around 200. Probably up here to sacrifice, though. Drabek squares to bunt. Here's the pitch. Bunted down the third base line. McDowell over, checks on the runner, then throws to first for the out. 1 away as Lind goes down to second base. Now Pittsburgh has runners on second and third, LaValliere and Lind. And we go to the top of the order with Andy Van Slyke, who walked in the first. Action in the bullpen now for Chicago already. Laundry being thrown around out there like there's a sale at Gabardines. Looks like Fernandez and Radinsky. Van Slyke steps in. Here's the pitch from McDowell. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Guillen towards second base. He's got it. He throws to first for the out. LaValliere comes in to score. Lind goes to third. And now the Bucks have a 3-0 lead. Here's Jay Bell. Flied out in the first. Lind on third. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Bell. Ground ball to second base. Fletcher's got it. Over to Pasqua, and that will retire the side. Pittsburgh comes up with 1 run on 2 hits. They strand 1 after 2 full. Pittsburgh 3, Chicago 0. Chicago will lead it off with the 8th spot. Second baseman Scott Fletcher, 32 years old, 206 and 2, 219 and 2. Drabek looks in. Drabek fires. Fly ball deep to center field. Van Slyke is going back. He's going back, and he makes the catch. One away. The batter will be the pitcher, Jack McDowell. McDowell, not a very good hitter. In the American League, you don't get a chance to be. Here's the pitch to McDowell. Ball 4. Pitcher from the American League is walked with 1 out, and the batter will be top of the order, Tim Raines. Raines flied out in the first. There's the pitch to Raines. Ground ball to shortstop Bell to second for 1. Over to first. Safe! Not in time to get the speedy Raines. McDowell is erased on the fielder's choice, and Raines is aboard. Always a threat to go, even down 3-0 maybe. Who knows? Brings up Lance Johnson, the center fielder. The pitch. Oh, check swing down to third base. Michelle runs in across the pitcher's mound, throws to first, and that's all for Chicago. No runs, no hits. They strand 1. We go to the bottom of the third. Pittsburgh 3, Chicago 0. For the Pirates in the third, they'll send up the 3, 4, and 5 spots. Bonds, Bonilla, and Merced. Here's Barry Lamar Bonds, singled in the first. McDowell delivers. There's a ground ball to third. Ventura barehands it over to first, and he got him just in time to get Bonds. 1 away. Bobby Bonilla struck out in the first. There's the pitch to Bonilla. There's a fly ball to right field. Sosa waiting under it. And 2 men are down. That brings up the first baseman, Orlando Merced. Merced doubled in the first. Drove in 2 runs. Pitch to Merce. Check swing. Did he go? Yes. Yes. 3 away. 1-2-3 inning. And after 3 full, Pittsburgh 3, Chicago 0. 3, 4, and 5 spots for the White Sox. Dan Pasqua leads it off, batting left-handed. Drabek delivers. Base hit to right field. Pasqua on with a single, and the batter will be Robin Ventura. The pitch to Ventura. Base hit to left field. Pasqua will hold at second. Ventura at first. And the White Sox are in business here with Carlton Fisk stepping to the plate. No outs. Pasqua on second. Ventura on first. Here's the pitch to Fisk. A deep drive to center field. Van Slyke is back. He's at the gate. He marvels. It is 12 o'clock. High and goodbye. Carlton Fisk has just tied the ball game here at the confluence of this river, that river, and the other river. A 3-3 ball game here in the top of the 4th, courtesy of Carlton Fisk. No outs, and here's Ozzie Guillen. Wide left. Fisk again. A deep drive to right field. Captain, you've got traffic on the nose. 12 o'clock high, and goodbye for Ozzie Guillen. And the White Sox take a commanding, a slight 1-run lead. 4-3 here in Pittsburgh. Back-to-back taters by Carlton Fisk and Ozzie Guillen. Stick that in your fortune cookie. Tomlin and Belinda now warming up in the Pittsburgh bullpen. And with no outs, the batter will be Sammy Sosa. Sosa grounded out in the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch to Sosa. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 1 away. First strikeout for Drabek. Here's the second baseman, Scott Fletcher. Here's the pitch to Fletcher. Base hit to left field. Bonds racing over to make the play, but Fletcher will be into second base with the double. 1 out. White Sox will send up left-handed pinch hitter Matt Marullo to bat the pitcher spot. Pirates are going to stay with Drabek instead of bringing in a lefty. Frank Thomas looming on the bench in Chicago. And they've got 3 other hitters that bat above 300. Marulo, 25 years old, 229 and 21, 238 and 24. Here's the pitch to Marulo. Ground ball to third. Bouchel over his glove and into left field. Everybody will be safe. Fletcher at third. Marulo at first base. And everything seems to be coming apart at the seams here for the Pirates. And if all that weren't bad enough, here's Tim Raines again in the top of the order. Here's the pitch to Raines. High fly ball to right field. More than medium deep. Bonilla under, and he makes the catch. And Fletcher will come in to score. Marulo goes back to first base. And the White Sox now have a 5-3 lead. 2 outs and a runner on first base for Lance Johnson. Graybeck rocks and throws. There's a pop-up. High second baseman Lean calling for it. He's out in the grass. And he makes the catch. 5 runs for the White Sox on 5 hits, no errors. 1 runner left on. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The 1991 Chicago White Sox 5 and the 1991 Pittsburgh Pirates 3. The new pitcher for the White Sox will be Alex Fernandez, right-handed pitcher. ERA 4.52, normalized 4.77. He was 9 and 13 on the year. Strikeouts and base on balls per 9, 7 over 4. Batting against 259 and 13, 261 and 13. He is 21 years old. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 spots for the Pirates. Leadoff batter Steve Bouchel, or at least Bouchel will lead it off. Here's the pitch from Fernandez. Popped up. Shortstop Ozzie Guillen is calling for it, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Mike LaValliere steps up for the Pirates. Catcher doubled at the second. He says it's pronounced LaValliere, so we will call him LaValliere. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Base hit to left field, and LaValliere's on first base with a single and 1 out. And that brings up Jose Jack Spratt could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. Second baseman. Here's the pitch to Lind, L-I-N-D. Pop fly. Scott Fletcher, the second baseman, has a beat on it. 2 men are down. Left-handed batting Gary Varsho comes in to pinch hit. 273 and 13. 292 and 18. He's 30. Here's the pitch to Varsho. Base hit into left center field. For LaValliere around second. He's going to go into third base standing up. And the Pirates are in business. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Top of the order, and Andy Van Slyke steps to the plate. Deuces are wild. 2 outs and 2 on. Here's the pitch to Van Slyke. Inside. Ball 4. And they're loaded up here in the bottom of the fourth for Jay Bell. Bell 0 for 2 today. He's flied out and grounded out. And that's going to be all for Alex Fernandez. White Sox will send in right-handed pitching Don Paul. Certainly knows how to name himself. Paul, 29-year-old right-hander, 2.41 ERA, normalized 2.54. Batting against 231 and 16, normalized 233 and 16. He was 7 and 2 and 5 over 3. So we've got Jay Bell up, bases loaded, Bonds on deck, bottom of the fourth, and the Pirates trail 5-3. The pitch to Bell, ground ball shortstop. Guillen's got it. He flips to second. And the White Sox are out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 left on board after 4 complete. The White Sox 5 and the Pirates 3. Coming in to pitch for the Pirates will be left-handed throwing Mike Tomlin. ERA 2.98, normalized 3.30. Batting against 254 and 8, 260 and 12. He was 8 and 7. And 5 over 3. is 25 years old. Facing the 3, 4, and 5 spots, here's Dan Pasqua, who's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Tomlin. There's a ground ball to first base. It climbs the ladder over Merced's head, and Pasqua will be on first base due to an error by Orlando Merced. No outs. Here's left-handed batting. Robin Ventura. Pitch, ground ball to second base. Lean comes in, gets it, throws to first to get Ventura, and Dan Pasqua goes down to second base on the play. Here's Carlton Fisk, who hit a 3-run homer in the 4th, part of a 5-run Sox rally to take the lead. Fisk steps in, and here's the pitch, ground ball to third. Buchel's got it, pulls Merced off the bag with a wide throw, and Fisk is safe at first. Pasqua will go down to third. Runners at the corners with 1 out. The batter will be Ozzie Guillen. You can score that in E5, and here's Guillen. Here's the pitch to Guillen. Runners on first and third. Ground ball to shortstop. Bell's got it. Flips to Lean for 1. Over to first. He's safe. And Pasqua comes in to score. Guillen goes to first. Fisk is out at second. And the Sox have a 6-3 lead here in the 5th. That was a very close play at first. Batter will be Sammy Sosa. We have Sosa ranked as the 45th best player, 9th best right fielder, and an ATP of 5.57. He's listed at 6 feet and 165. Ha! Pitch to the 21-year-old Sosa. Flare into right field is going to drop in for a base hit. Guillen will hold at second, and the Sox have runners at second and first. 2 outs, and the batter will be Scott Fletcher. Fletcher 1 for 2 with the double. Pitch to Fletcher, low, ball 4. And they're loaded up. White Sox trying to blow this game wide open, send up pinch hitter, right-handed pinch hitter Ron Karkovice, 27 years old. And the Pirates will counter with right-handed pitcher Stan Belinda. Karkovice against right-handed pitchers 220 and 11. Belinda versus right-handed batters 170 and 24. The pitch to Karkovice swung on and missed, and the inning is over. The White Sox 1 run on 1 hit, 2 Pirate errors, and 3 runners left on after 5.5. White Sox 6, Pirates 3. Last of the 5th, 3, 4, and 5 spots. Here's Barry Bonds. Ball winds and throws, swung on and missed in the dirt, gets away from Fisk. He throws down to first to get Bonds 1 away. Here's Bobby Bonilla, who's 0 for 2. Pitch from Paul, fly ball to left field, base hit. Should be in there for 2. It is. Bonilla will be into second base with a stand-up double. Here's Orlando Merced. Pitch to Merced, low, ball 4, first and second. 1 out. Steve Buechele. Paul looks in. Here's the pitch to Buechele. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 away. That will be Mike LaValliere. 2 strikeouts this inning for Don Paul. LaValliere, 5'10", 190 out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Ball looks in and the pitch to LaValliere. There's a fly ball to center field. Johnson, medium deep, makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left on. At the end of 5 full, Chicago leads 6-3. Folks, in my opinion, the American Revolution started right here in Pittsburgh. I was in the airport last night, and I noticed they have 2 statues, one of George Washington and the other of Franco Harris, right next to each other. George Washington and Franco Harris. Now, in 1754, Pittsburgh was Fort Duquesne. French owned it. And the Brits, who claimed the area because of the confluence of the 3 rivers. And remember, the rivers back then, that was like having airspace. Whoever owned the rivers of the oceans They owned what surrounded them, just like whoever owns the airspace owns what's underneath them nowadays. They sent 22-year-old Colonel George Washington, who was on the side of the Brits back then, to tell the French basically to get out. They refused. He ambushed the French, and the leader of the French forces at the time, Jumonville, was killed. The French say he was executed. No one really knows. At any rate, a series of events led to the French and Indian War after that. But what Washington learned, in my opinion, was, one, how to command, and two, how the Brits think, which is slow. The colonists had to adjust on their own and not wait for orders from across the pond. The colonists had to solve their own problems. That meant they had to get organized. And this organization, over a 20-year period, hey, you know what? We can take this for ourselves. Unintended consequences. Anyway, in 1758, Fort Duquesne was renamed Pittsburgh by General John Forbes. Remember that name, Forbes? The stadium before this was Forbes Field. He named it after William Pitt, who was at the time the informal leader of the British cabinet. The French, of course, later became our allies in the revolution against the Brits. My point is, during all this, no one ever mentioned George Washington scoring a touchdown, so how could they possibly have his statue next to Franco Harris? We go to the 6th. Here's Tim Rock Raines, top of the order. Pitch from Belinda, ground ball to third base. Bouchel to his left, spins around, throws to first, and they get Raines one away. Pirates have Walken Patterson warming up in the bullpen. Here's Lance Johnson. Here's the pitch to Johnson. Fly ball to left field. Barry Bonds makes the catch, 2 away. Here's Dan Pasqua, ground ball to second. Leans got it over to Merced, 3 away. 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-3 White Sox. Here's the number 8 hitter, second baseman Jose Lean. There's the pitch, ground ball to third base. Ventura to his left. Double clutches, throws to first, and Jose Lean beats it out. Safe at first is Lean, nobody down, and there will be a pinch hitter. Pinch hitting for the Pirates will be right-handed batting John Wayner, the local boy, 6'3", 205. Batted .340 with no home runs. Normalized .359 and no home runs. 24 years old. Pitch to Wayner. Call, strike 3. 1 away. 1 out. The batter will be Andy Van Slyke, leaned at first. The pitch, high fly ball to center field. Johnson going back, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Here's Jay Bell. Now, I love to name drop, but I'm doing my best not to. However, in this case, I have to. I met Jay Bell once. It was over at a friend's house. We were watching a boxing match. And somehow I got into this bet with Jay Bell as to who was going to win. And I'm just excited that there's a major leaguer in the house, you know. And my guy, within about 5 minutes, gets knocked out. Now, you'd think Jay Bell, rich ball player, would say, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. You know, you're an orphan, you know, whatever. I'm broke. Just go get me a hot dog or some chips and a beer or some soda or whatever, and we'll call it even. No. He turns around and he says, pay up. Give me my money. He looks me right in the eye. So everyone turns and they look at me, and it feels like it took an hour for me to get the money out of my pocket and hand it over to him. Now, had I won, I would have taken that $10 and framed it and said, this was from Jay Bell, the major league ball player. But you know what? He probably spent my money. Anyway, if the Pirates lose today, it's bad karma. He was a nice guy, really nice guy. And I mentioned Jay Bell. Batting. Here's the pitch from Paul. Never thought about that. Paul pitching the Bell. Ground ball to second base. Fletcher has it over to Pasqua, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, no errors. 1 runner left after 6 full. Sox 6, Pirates 3. In to pitch for Pittsburgh will be the lefty Bob Patterson, 32 years old. ERA 4.14. normalized 4.59. He will face the 4, 5, and 6 spots. Here's Robin Ventura. Pitch to Ventura in the top of the 7th. Crisp line drive to right field. Base hit, and Ventura's aboard. No outs for Carlton Fisk. Pitch to Fisk. Swung on and missed. That bat goes flying down the first base foul line like a helicopter. Nowadays a drone. One away. That one on, and the batter will be left-handed batting, Ozzie Guillen. He and Fisk went back-to-back. 4th inning. Patterson delivers, and there's a high fly ball, medium deep center field. Van Slyke drifting over, and he makes the catch. 2 men are down. Batter will be Sammy Sosa, who's 1 for 3 with a single. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, high chopper, shortstop, barehanded by Bell over the first. Safe at first is Sosa. First and second the bases, and that will bring up Scott Fletcher, right-handed batter. Pittsburgh will bring in new pitcher, right-hander Bob Walk. 34 years old, ERA of 3.60, normalized to 3.99. It's 9-2 on the year, and 5 over 3. And Walk lets into LeVallier. Here's the 2-out pitch. Pop fly to left field. Bonds drifting in. He makes the catch, and the side retires. No runs on 2 hits. They strand 2. Time to stretch. This site was formerly an island, but silt accumulation back in 1852 connected it with the mainland, and it lost its island status. In 1763, after a big flood, it's called the Big Flood, it was discovered that this site was a Native American burial ground. This site was also hosted the first night World Series game back in 1971 between the Pirates and Orioles. Incidentally, the first night game, 1935, Cincinnati beat Philadelphia 2-1. But the first night game ever was the Negro Leagues, 1930. Kansas City Monarchs played the House of David, and the House of David would carry their own portable lights. Bottom of the 7th, Don Paul facing Barry Bonds. Pitch to Bonds, low, ball 4. Bonds is on with no outs. Here's Bobby Bowe. Pitch to Bonilla, low, ball 4. 2 walks in a row by Paul. He's got to turn in his Paul status. This keeps up. And that brings up Orlando Merced. 2 runners on. Pirates down 3. Merced has doubled and struck out and walked. There's the pitch. There goes Bonds. The throw. He's safe. And Barry Bonds has stolen third base. Hey. Pirates now. Runners at first and third. Nobody down. And Merced still at the plate. Here's the pitch to Merced. Ground ball to shortstop. Slow grounder over to second for 1. Over the first. Not nearly in time. And Bonds will come in to score. A 6-4 ball game, and here's Steve Buechele. Buechele, who's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 away. Mike LeVallier. LeVallier's doubled and singled. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Ian's got it in the hole. He makes the long throw to get LeVallier. And the side is retired. Pirates 1 run, and they leave 1. At the end of 7 complete. Chicago leads it 6-4. Top of the 8th, pinch hitting for the White Sox in the 9 spot will be the big hurt, Frank Thomas. 318 and 34, normalized 336 and 38. 23-year-old. We have him ranked as the number 81 1 best major leaguer, 16th best first baseman, and an ATP of 5.33, facing Bob Walk. The pitch, outside, ball 4. Thomas on first, no outs. Top of the order, Tim Raines. Pitch to Raines, ground ball, second base, Leans got it over to first in time to get the runner, and Thomas goes to second with 1 out. Batter will be Lance Johnson. And the pitch to Johnson, fly ball to left field. Bonds coming over, he makes the catch. 2-men are down. Batter will be Dan Pasqua. Walk delivers to Pasqua. There's a fly ball to center field. Is going to be in there for a base hit. Thomas will hold at third. Pasqua's at first. 2 outs, and Robin Ventura steps to the plate. He's 2 for 4 today. Pitch to Ventura. Ground ball to shortstop. Bell's got it. He steps on the bag, and the side is retired. For the White Sox, no runs, a hit. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1991 Chicago White Sox lead the 1991 Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 6-4. Coming in to pitch for the White Sox will be left-handed thrower Ken Patterson. He's 26 years old, 2.85 ERA, 3-0 on the year. Normalized 3.01 ERA. Strikeouts and base on balls per 9. 5/5. He'll face Jose Lind, who has 2 hits today. Here's the pitch to Lind, ground ball to third, and Ventura throws him out 1 away. Pinch hitting for Pittsburgh will be right-handed batter Lloyd McClendon, 32 years old. He batted .288 and 25. Normalized 308 and 32. Actual home runs he hit 7. Here's the pitch to McClendon. Fly ball. High. Right field. Sosa under it. 2 away. The White Sox now just 4 outs away from advancing to round 7. Here's Andy Van Slyke. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Patterson deals outside, ball 4. That's like on first, and here's Jay Bell with my $10 hanging out in his pocket. The pitch to Bell, there goes the runner, ground ball to short. Guillen's got it over to first, and that's all for the Bucks in the 9th. No runs, they strand 1. At the end of 8 full, Chicago leads 6-4. Carlton Fisk will lead off the 9th for the White Sox. And he's facing 33-year-old right-hander now, Bill Landrum. Landrum had an ERA of 3.19, normalized 3.53. Fisk, by the way, our 89th best player, 9th best catcher. And he had has an ATP of 5.27. Fisk has homered and singled. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, 1 away. Ozzie Guillen, he's 1 for 4 with a home run. Pitch from Landrum, ground ball, back to the box. Flips to first, 2 away for Sammy Sosa. Sosa, 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Here's the pitch to the future Slammin' Sammy. High pop-up. And Lind is calling for it. Makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and the White Sox lead it 6-4. Pirates will send up Bonds, Bonilla, and Merced here in the 9th against lefty Ken Patterson. And if they don't get 2 runs, that's all she wrote. It'll be over and out. Bonds steps in. The pitch from Patterson. There you go. No. Ball 4. Bonds goes down to first base. Nobody out. For switch hitting, Bobby Bonilla batting from the right side. Bonds on first. Here's the pitch to Bonilla. Drive to center field. Here comes Johnson coming in. He's not going to get it. It'll fall in for a single. Bonds is on second. Bonilla is on first for Orlando Merced. Nobody down here in the bottom of the ninth. Merced bats 90 points higher on the left side, but right now he's batting as a right-hander. There's the pitch to Merced. Swung on a shot. Second baseman Fletcher to his knees. He's got it. Spins and throws to first to get the runner. But Bonds and Bonilla will advance with one out here in the bottom of the ninth, and the batter will be Steve Buechele. Ducks on the pond. Coming in to pinch run now for the Pirates at second base will be Gary Reedus, coming in for Bobby Bonilla. Buechele 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Here's the pitch to Buechele. Ground ball to shortstop. Guillen's got it. He flips over to first base to get the batter. Bonds will score. Reedus goes to third. And we have a 6-5 ball game here. Bottom of the ninth at the friendly confluence. And pinch hitting for the Pirates will be right-handed batting Jeff King, 26-year-old from Marion, Indiana. 239 and 22, normalized to 255 and 29. Patterson looks into Fisk, gets the sign. Reedus on third. Here's the pitch to King. Swung on ground ball to third base. Ventura's got it. He flips over to first base. Scooped out by Pasqua. And that's going to be the ball game as the 1991 Chicago White Sox come into Pittsburgh and have beaten the 91 Pirates by a score of 6-5. For the victorious White Sox, they score 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors, and 10 runners left on. Pirates, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, and 11 runners left on. Player of the game, we're going to go with Carlton Fisk, who was 2 for 5. Hit the 3-run home run in the 4th inning that gave the White Sox a 4-3 lead, which they would never relinquish. And the 1991 Chicago White Sox move on victoriously to round 7. Our round 7 broadcast, the visitors ranked 934 all time, will be the Seattle Mariners from 1982. And where might they travel? Well, they're going to Chicago, but not just any Chicago. 1906 Chicago, to play the World Series losing Cubs, who had a winning record of .763. They won 116 games and lost only 36. Starting pitcher was Mordecai Three-Fingered Brown. Brown was 26-6 that year, and that team also had the famous double play combination, Tinker to Evers to Chance. They lost the World Series, but 2 years later they would win the World Series in 1908, and they haven't won since. But we'll see you next time, I'm sure. Everybody, have a good night. Thanks.